Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are currently ready to run our flashpoint. So let's go ahead and do this. Our first real lead in the hunt. Okay people, the Bauman Group's distribution center is smack dab in the center of an uninhabited jungle in Independence's equatorial greenbelt. We're going to fight our way to the distribution center, find out where they've taken the Dobrev, and liberate as much exotic contraband as a leopard can carry. It can't be that easy. It's never that easy. It won't be. The Bauman Group has a particularly well-armed cavalry lance patrolling just outside our projected AO. If we attack the distribution center before we deal with them, they'll have plenty of time to circle around and outflank us. Sounds like a situation to avoid. It is, and that's why we're going to play this one safe. Rather than mounting a direct assault on the facility, I'm setting our mech warriors down on the outer edge of the Bauman Group's territory. If the intel that Darius's contacts gave us checks out, we'll catch the Op 4's cavalry lance with its pants down. For some reason, I can't say cavalry now. Okay, that's exciting. And if it doesn't check out, that'll tell us something too. Works for me. Dr. Murad, have you brought the Motor Bjorn back online yet? 2 steps ahead of you, Commander. I'll put it on the view screen. Commander, I've been informed of your impending combat drop. When you've taken the Bauman Group's distribution center, please send word to engineering. Dr. Murad and I will stand ready to analyze any and all data that you recover. Alternatively, you could, I don't know, maybe help us out. I mean, we didn't haul your combat drones all the way out here for nothing. If your lance requires assistance, I will, of course, provide it. A word of caution, however, my combat drones are a limited resource. When they're damaged or destroyed, I have no way of replacing them. Nobody aboard this ship has the specialized knowledge required to repair an SLDF combat drone, including me. Those functions were governed by dedicated systems aboard my orbital platform. And you're not on your platform anymore. Wonderful. Mama Bear is right, Meyer. We should keep the drones in reserve until we actually find the Dobrev. I get the feeling we're going to need them. Agreed. And besides, the 50 grand that we blew on bribes should make this deployment a cakewalk, in theory. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Let's get down there, Diane. The sooner we engage the enemy, the more time we'll have to hit the distribution center. Indeed. Let's go. So this is going to be a 2.5 skill battle with no reward and lots of salvage. Sounds good. We're going to be deploying just a single lance, and so let's think about who we want to deploy here. With only one lance, I think that we need to bring either the Corsair or the Mark II, and it'll be the Mark II. We need to bring the Mauler or the Battlemaster, and I'm leaning towards it being the Mauler. I do think that we should bring the Salamander. In the last slot, I'm kind of thinking about doing a refit on the Awesome at some point. This is not a right now thing, but I'm thinking about refitting the Awesome to be more similar to the loadout of the Black Knight, where it's designed to strip off large amounts of armor and or just have high amounts of rolls on a fast-moving target. But right now, we know it's a cavalry lance. We do have the large pulse lasers on the Corsair. Maybe we bring the Corsair in that role. Let's do that. Okay, so we need a pilot for each of those. Boot Camp, you do have Salamander affinities. Sounds good. Brother, what do you have? You have Mark II affinities. Excellent. Chronic Toast, Salamander. We already have a Salamander pilot. Wolverine, Atlas, and Stealth. Orion, Centurion, and Urban Mech, of all things. Okay, that's probably from that one Flashpoint. Battlemaster, Stealth, Orion. Awesome Hunchback Mongoose. Ah, here's some Corsair affinities. Fantastic on Panzer there. And what else do we have? We're looking for somebody with Mauler affinities. I'm not sure such a thing exists, but maybe Taboo? Not Taboo. Okay. Well, we'll just put Chronic Toast into the Mauler for now. That'll do. Let's go ahead and deploy this. This is going to be interesting, for sure. It's only 2.5 skill. I don't think we're going to have a tremendous amount of difficulty with it, but only being able to drop one lance is a pretty big handicap for us. There's no doubt about that. Just having the additional movements is a huge benefit. Even if they're not, like, completely ideal in the second lance. Even if you're running like assaults and mediums, it's still a huge advantage to have those 4 additional mechs. But that's not the situation here. And that's okay. We probably don't need them. It'll be interesting to find out where this cavalry lance will be. But the fact that we bribed their garrison to take the day off should in theory help, or tip them off that we were coming. I suppose that's a possibility too. In fact, that's what we should assume is happening here. That sounds like the most RogueTech thing right there. They found out that we were coming like weeks ago and they moved in 4 additional lances. And they're all heavy bombers. That sounds like RogueTech. This is going to be in a jungle, so our heat sinking is not going to be at tremendous efficiency, but there should be water around that we can utilize, as well as plentiful cover. And so that should not be too terrible in theory. Assuming that we don't have the same map that we did last mission, because that was quite a lot of lack of cover. Just a huge bay that we drop in. Yeah, I mean, the lack of cover there definitely hurt us, and that was a big part of the reason for why the Battlemaster ended up being ejected. That and the fact that it was just unlucky with the hit clustering that they got. That said, the amount of armor that they stripped off of other locations of the Battlemaster was a huge part of the reason why I ejected it. So I'm not claiming that all of the fire focused into that one arm, although a lot of it did. But the armor was stripped relatively evenly off of the Battlemaster, so that's not really an excuse. Not really at all. At any rate, this loading screen appears to be finally finishing loading. That was quite a loading time for the loading screen, but we need to destroy the Bauman Group cavalry units. Like I said, the Bauman Group's distribution center is heavily defended, so we're going to approach this as a 2-stage operation. For this first stage, you're going to descend at the outermost edge of the Op Force territory and engage their patrolling cavalry. Take out as many vehicles and mechs as you can to clear the way for an assault on the distribution center. The Bauman Group's made a lot of money off of the Dobrev. We're going to find out where they took it, and get a piece of the profits for ourselves while we're at it. Indeed, that sounds amazing. I would like a piece of the profits, although we're not getting cash for this, so that's a thing. According to our intel, the Bauman Group's cavalry lance should be patrolling through this AO. Get in there, hit them hard, and wipe them out. When the cavalry lance is on ice, you'll be clear to advance on the Bauman Group's distribution center. Better move fast. I just intercepted a communication aimed at Dr. Bauman's jump ship. Apparently the distribution center is under attack. Yeah, that's confirmed. I'm picking up signs of explosions and laser fire. So much for a cautious approach. Can you get us over there now, Meyer? Can't risk it. The AO is too hot. You're just going to have to deal with this problem before moving on to the next. With luck, the Opfer's hired guns, and whoever those new assholes are will soften one another up before we get there. Hopefully. Let's go ahead and advance here, I think. We do see the enemy here. Round 13 mover? Okay, we'll reserve.
Holding for the right opportunity.
One more round. There we go. He just didn't move.
How's it going?
The Madcat Mark II is going to pop out over here. Now, we don't have sensors, so this is going to be requiring warlords and a little bit of luck, but let's go ahead and hit this Azula. That didn't go great. I didn't really expect it to, though, in all honesty.
Yep.
The Corsair is also going to hop out over here.
Copy that.
And we'll probably have some better luck with the Corsair.
Take this.
Slightly better. Okay. The Salamander can step up as well to here.
Roger.
33% on the MRMs. Sounds good. We'll boost that up to 37. Good armor damage there. That's what I like to see. Sadly, it was mostly in this flank, but that should in theory be okay. The Mauler is going to sprint forward. It is not going to be able to get into proper range here. Commander, we're getting an incoming transmission from an unknown dropship. It isn't one of Bauman's, so it must belong to whoever's hitting the distribution center. Oh, shit. Who is it, Meyer? The Bounty Hunter. As in, the Bounty Hunter. The one with the Holovid show and the action figures. And the quadruple-digit kill count. I'm putting him through. Commander, we've never spoken before, but I trust that you know who you're talking to. We know who you are, Bounty Hunter. I doubt there's a mech warrior alive who doesn't. If you don't mind my asking, what the hell are you doing here? Same thing you are, only faster and better. My crew is packing up the Bauman Group's inventory as we speak. Thanks for the heads up, I guess? It was more of a friendly warning. You're going to want to stay away from the distribution center until we're finished cleaning it out. Matter of fact, it'd work best for me if you just withdraw from combat right now. I'll give you a few minutes to decide. He's off the line. We just got threatened by a celebrity. The man's a living legend, for God's sake. So, are we withdrawing? If we turn tail and run, the bounty hunter will probably shoot us in the ass on our way out the door. The man has a reputation. Even if he doesn't, the hit to our reputation would be enormous. Imagine us running away on the highlight reel of the next season of Bounty Hunters. You think anybody would want to hire us after that? On the other hand, if we fight him and win, we'll be famous. We could jack up our rates. Hell with it, we're pushing forward. If the bounty hunter wants a piece of us, we'll give it to him. Let's see how good this guy really is. Okay, so he's going to drop in eventually. That's a Thunderbolt. Little bit of splash damage there that we don't really care about. This is not a cavalry unit, though. This is a Bauman Group unit. So these guys are probably going to be fighting each other to some degree. The Madcat Mark II is going to step slightly forward here. Our hit odds should be far better on the Azula now. Yes, indeed. Fantastic. The Azula is down.
Vehicle trash.
And we do see a Heliopolis and an Emperor over here as well. These are fairly heavy mechs.
Good to go.
We're going to move forward with our Salamander.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Hop into this cover.
Yeah.
Our Corsair is going to do the same, pretty much. I'm actually going to move forward to here, though. There we go. We'll see what the enemy decides to do. The Heliopolis moves forward. That was interesting. That was an indirect fired ballistic weapon, a Howitzer 2000 that didn't do any splash damage. Okay. The Mauler is going to move forward.
Quick stepping it.
And I do expect the Bounty Hunter to drop in very shortly here. Yep, there they come. Still out there, Captain? Or Commander, technically. That's a shame. I was hoping you'd listen to basic instructions. Yeah, I'll bet you were. Sorry to disappoint. Hey, I'm sorry, too. I was hoping I wouldn't have to order my associates to reduce you to your component materials. Unfortunately, you've taken that decision out of my hands. Gods, Commander, we have company. If by some miracle you manage to survive what's coming, feel free to drop me a line. Otherwise, this is goodbye, Commander. Do a better job picking your battles in the next life. Okay, what did he drop in? A Lynx, a light MML carrier, and a Griffin, and a Saladin 2. Cool. He's technically considered local government. I find that hilarious. The Salamander is going to step in over here. We are in cover here. We could fire indirect at this Emperor, or we could just fire on this Lynx. Only 11% hit odds. I'm just going to brace. It'll be fascinating if the Bauman Group attacks his men here, and if he attacks theirs. No firing thus far. The Madcat Mark II can step towards the cover over here. The only one we can shoot at is the light MML carrier. I love the option of shooting at this. Do it. No hits, but that's okay.
No joy.
Okay. These guys should not be cooperating. Saladin did not fire.
Skipper.
The Mauler is going to advance over to here, actually. Yeah, it's out of LOS, and I'm aware of that. AMS unjammed. The Lynx didn't fire either.
What do you need?
Okay, we're going to move the Corsair out over this way, and we're going to fire once again on that light MML carrier. Next round, we should be able to Warlord again. That was an interesting stray shot out on that Lynx. I did not expect that, but okay. Oh yeah, melee attack on the light MML carrier. I love it. The Thunderbolt charged for that. And destroyed it. Beautiful. Okay. The Lynx is going to go for the Thunderbolt here, rear arc, I think. I love it. That's amazing. The Thunderbolt moves then. Does a bunch of damage to the Griffin. Beautiful. The Griffin moves now. Let's see what it does. Goes for a Salamander. I would have preferred that it go for the rear arc on the Thunderbolt. I think that would have been the better move for them. But, okay. Our Salamander is going to want to close in a little bit. I'd love to get unobstructed LOS here. And we actually can get that by going here. We can then fire either on the Griffin with obstructed LOS, the obstruction being here, or we can fire on the Thunderbolt with unobstructed. And the choice is obvious. We're going to fire on that Thunderbolt.
Acknowledge.
Fantastic.
Scored a critical hit.
Did some good damage there. The Mauler, I think, is going to advance up here to engage the Emperor. That said, we can position like this and get LOS on this Thunderbolt. Do it.
Engage target. Reporting. Critical hit.
Nice. We actually got a second head hit there. The Corsair is going to step forward, and I would prefer to fire on the Griffin here over the Thunderbolt, even though our hit odds are better, because the Thunderbolt is a Bowman group unit, and the Griffin is a Bounty Hunter unit. They'll fight each other. So I just want to weaken them somewhat evenly right now, and I don't want one side to get the advantage over the other. Okay. So phase 15 here, that's going to be the Saladin. It can easily kill this Thunderbolt. But instead it went for our Salamander, which took no damage. Okay. Cool, I guess.
Good to go.
The Madcat Mark II is going to position up here, and our option is to fire at this Saladin, and that is... Well... Yeah, this is what we're going to do. Okay, we hit the Saladin with one of our weapons there. Let's see what that Emperor does. Whole lot of nothing. Okay, what has it got for armament? Do we see that? Oh no, anyway. That did no damage.
Oh, mama can hit harder. Let's go.
Medium lasers and dual AC5s. Okay. Our Salamander is going to head forward over this direction, I think. This is all obstructed LOS. But we'll position here. And I think we'll go for the Saladin too. Well, these hit odds aren't great. Yeah, we'll go for the Saladin. Just soften its armor a bit. Okay, the Griffin steps forward. Goes for a Corsair though. It's very rude, but our AMS doing work there.
What's up, boss?
The Madcat Mark II is going to step forward as well. And we're going to continue hitting that Saladin. We can Warlord this to boost these odds slightly, so we'll do so.
Firing on target.
Sad. Some terrible shooting there. I mean, the odds were low, but still terrible shooting. I would love for the Lynx and the Saladin to go on the Thunderbolt here. It's just free damage if they do. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want to see. That's a knockdown. Probably a pilot incapacitation here. Yep. Sounds good. The Lynx moves up. Barely hits our Salamander. Beautiful. So we've got these 2 units and these 2 units. Or rather, these 3 units over here. Okay. Yep. The Corsair is going to step forward over here. This gives us direct LOS on that Lynx. And we're taking it. Solid hits there. We also got a head hit. The Mauler is going to step in here,
10-4.
and we are going to attempt to maul the side arc of this Emperor. Boost those hit odds, and fire.
Firing.
That definitely did some damage. The Emperor has decided to take notice of that. That's okay. It does give us some heat there, which isn't great. I didn't realize they were using incendiary rounds, but sure. The Heliopolis is going to fire its howitzer at the Mauler. Missing everything. Beautiful. The Heliopolis is running super hot now, too.
Ready to rock.
The Mauler is going to... Let's see, is that even an evasive pip? It's not. I think we're going to vigilance it, and we're going to stay put. Once again, hit that Emperor super hard. I think we accept these odds.
Enemy eliminated.
Excellent.
My heat gauge is getting pretty. Commander.
Yeah, your heat gauge is going to be high from that. There's no doubt about it. I would love to fire on this guy, but I'm actually just going to sink heat this round.
Hey there.
The Madcat Mark II can position here, where we have a clear LOS on that Lynx. We'll pot shot it. I don't expect too much here. We managed to hit one of those lasers. I guess that's okay. The Griffin moves forward, fires on the Corsair. Gets a little bit of damage in there. That's fine. The Corsair is going to... I did not intend to step there, but we're going to step here, I guess, and fire on the Lynx. I just accidentally double-clicked. My own fault, entirely. It's not a terrible position. It's just not, I think, the best position it could have been. So at this point, we've got these guys that we want to be primarily focused on. That Saladin continues to move through the fire and take armor damage on the way. That's wonderful. I'm very pleased to see that. Very, very pleased to see that. Little bit of damage on the Salamander there, not too bad.
Let's get this done, team.
And the Griffin backs up a little bit through the fire. Shoots at the Salamander, does very little. So we need to eliminate the Bounty Hunter Lance, and as we close in, that's going to be getting easier and easier. The Mauler is going to step up here. This is mostly going to be a heat sink round. So we'll just do something kind of like... Honestly, I'm just going to brace it and sink that heat. We did overheat pretty extensively. The Salamander is going to step in over here. Let's see what these hit odds are going to be like on the Lynx. Okay, can we Warlord it? We can. Do it.
On it.
Okay, it lost its evasive, but it moves immediately. That was a lot of armor strip, but not too much else. Okay, our Madcat Mark II is going to step in to here. This is technically obstructed LOS, but it is also side arc. We will go ahead and... I was going to Warlord, but it's on cooldown. We're going to go ahead and fire on this Lynx, and it's pretty overheated. That is a structure exposure. Sounds good. At this point, the Saladin moves. We'll see what it wants to do. Okay. Not very much there.
Light damage, Commander. Yep.
And the Corsair can actually position here and get an unobstructed side arc on this Lynx. I love it. Do it.
I'm taking the shot.
That's certainly a lot of damage into that Lynx. The Heliopolis is going to fire on the Mauler. Cool. All of those missiles missed. That is absolutely wonderful. Very pleased to see that. The Griffin moves through the fire. Shoots at the Mad Cat. Does very little, to be honest.
My armor's getting stripped off.
And it's running pretty hot now, too. The Salamander is going to step into here, though. And we can fire on any of these. Hit odds are best on the Griffin. We're going to do that. There's a possibility that we stray shot beyond.
Roger.
That Griffin is not doing so well.
Reporting. Critical hit. I'm taking heat damage.
The Corsair is going to step forward over here, and we're going to fire, I think, once again on that Griffin. This should kill it. Although none of that's going into the CT, really. I guess it's a leg destruction. Yeah, no CT damage really there. There was one large laser that went into the CT, but nothing else really.
Yes, Commander.
That's okay. The Mad Cat Mark II will step forward.
Got it.
And given these hit odds, it's got to be the kill on the Griffin. There we go.
Mech destroyed. Confirmed.
The Mauler is going to attempt to close in on this Heliopolis here. There's only so much that we can do there, though. It'll be next round that we're able to do that. They're continuing to do some really major missing on that Mad Cat, and I
Damage is mine,
absolutely
Commander.
love that. That's hilarious. So the Saladin 2 closes in. That's really bold of it.
No sweat. I got it.
Okay. And the Heliopolis is then going to fire on the Saladin. I love it. How's this heat doing? Okay. It's doing fine.
Standing by.
The Salamander is at this point going to move out of this LOS.
Affirmative.
And we're going to fire on the Saladin 2 here. I do not want to fire the medium lasers. I'll fire one MRM-40 and the ATM-12.
Got it.
Some structure exposures there and a lot of internal damage, but not enough to kill it.
Critical hit,
I
Commander.
did expect it to die there.
Heat damage. Damage.
Oh, the Link stray shot it and killed it. And then failed the shutdown override. That's hilarious. I love that. That's so funny. Okay, so the Lynx is super dead here. The Corsair is absolutely going to kill it. Okay, the Mad Cat Mark II is absolutely going to kill it.
Oh, yeah. Yup.
The Mauler can close in on the Heliopolis here, and I think I want unobstructed LOS, and so we'll position like so. We're closed in, and we're even going to Warlord this. Everything you've got. Shred that armor. Very nice. We crit the howitzer, destroyed its large laser. It didn't like that very much. It fires at us, and then it's probably going to ace pilot back into this cover. It didn't move.
Receiving you.
Okay, that's really hilarious. We're going to finish off this Lynx. There we go. The Bounty Hunter's units are dead.
Enemy down.
And our Salamander is just going to pop over here. We're going to toss some ATMs at this. This is our last round of ATMs. Got a little damage in there.
I am out of long-range missiles. Waiting
The Mad Cat
for
Mark II is going to start climbing the hill. There's not a lot that it can do. I don't think it gets there in time, especially since I think, yes, we can kick the Heliopolis in this side arc. Do it.
Move order received.
We finally got to melee with our Mauler.
Reporting. Critical hit.
It didn't die,
20 ammo.
but it is basically dead. Hilarious. Just the medium laser? Okay. I don't care.
Commander.
Okay, our Salamander is going to... I tried to sprint that, but I failed. Our Salamander is going to sprint up the hill, as is our Corsair, and our Mad Cat...
Ready.
Neither of them, or none of them, rather, are going to get into LOS here. And then we're going to melee this guy once again in his weak side arc, if we can. We can only kick him from his strong side arc. I guess this is fine. We are out of ammo for our LBX AC-20. That's okay.
Critical hit.
There's the howitzer gone.
Reporting. Critical.
And a knockdown. Okay. He failed to stand up.
Yes,
Sure.
Commander.
Salamander advances.
Confirmed. Orders?
And the Mauler is going to finish the job. We don't have other types of ammo on here, no, do we? No. We were pretty heavily limited, in fact, by our LBX ammo. We just didn't have much available. But this should kill the Heliopolis. There we go. Fantastic.
Enemy eliminated.
Indeed. Let's get out of here. Oh, incoming transmission. I hear you just handed my friends a regulation ass-kicking. Suppose I should thank you for that. It'll give me something new to rib 'em about at our celebration party. From where I'm standing, you don't have a whole lot to celebrate. The hold full of contraband we just lifted says otherwise. I'd be happy to chat about it after we're all back in orbit. Drop me a line, Commander. I'll be waiting.
Mission successful.
Okay, well, we'll see what we get from salvage here. I'm not really expecting too much good stuff. We could maybe salvage, like, some Emperor parts. And that's about it. We might want to do that. I don't know. We'll think about it. We did lose a little bit of money on it. We knew that would happen. So we should really salvage parts that we can sell. Yeah, I don't think I really care that much about the Emperor part. I guess we can take the one Emperor part that exists. The Salamander, or rather the Saladin parts, are not really worth it, I think. And then we could take... There's not a lot here. There's really not a lot here. Okay. No XL engines. No big engine cores. I mean, there's a 210. A 200. I guess we could take a Thunderbolt. That's not really worth anything, though. Honestly, maybe light MML carrier parts are the way to go. Those are 600k each, compared to the Saladin 2s. That didn't go. Okay. Compared to the Saladin 2s... Yeah, Saladin 2 is the way to go. And then we'll also take, like, maybe an Azula part? It's like 200k. Okay, we'll do this. So we got a Griffin part, Heliopolis part. We got a decent amount of salvage here. Battle pod, a medium laser. Get rid of that. 2 machine guns. Don't need that. An MG array, we have 3 of them. A small laser, we have 5. Thunderbolt missile, I hate Thunderbolt. Primitive armor, no thanks. Case, we've got 5 of them. Engine core, 200, we've got one. Fuel cell engine, get rid of it. Generic heat sinks, small jump jets, primitive cockpits, generic structure, heavy rifle, sub-bow ammo, LRM ammo, and swarm LRM ammo. We've got all of it. So we'll just sell all of that and get out of here. I don't expect this to be very difficult to repair either. We didn't take all that much damage, just a little bit of armor on the Magcat and the Mauler, and I think the Saladin took a little. Like, I think they all took a small amount of damage. The Magcat took the brunt of it, I feel like, although the Mauler took some. Realistically, I think it'll be somewhere around 80,000 C-bills, is my guess. And as soon as we find out how long that's going to take, and assuming there's not a briefing right after, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that after we... Oh, we are going to get a briefing. Never mind. Okay. I gotta admit it, Commander. I underestimated you. Badly. If we're ever in conflict with one another again, I won't send you my second stringers to chew on. I'm going to come for you myself. What happened down there was just business, Bounty Hunter. There's no reason for any animosity between our companies. I'm glad you see it that way. Matter of fact, I've got a drop shuttle on the way to your location right now. I realize that your company got the short end of the stick in this situation, so I've got a little peace offering for you. Sort of a consolation prize for the losing side. So we can either ask him what it is, or tell him where he can put his consolation prize. And, I kind of want to fight this guy. So that's what we'll do. Oh, come now, Commander. My crew pulled this junk from Bauman's scrap heap just for you. I figured your pal Vertanen would want to look it over. From what my mech techs tell me, it's unique, unlike anything they've seen before. Okay, so he doesn't respond differently based on that, I'm guessing. Sure, yeah. That sounds interesting. But I'm more interested in why you're sending it our way. Is it just me, or does this strike anyone else as really, really suspicious? Like, there must be a catch here level suspicious. There's no catch. It's a jumble of scrap, too damaged to resell. Besides, I don't have the space for it. My crew has already scooped up as much exotic contraband as our dropship can carry. Look, do you want this crap or not? I'd rather see it go to a worthy mech warrior than stay in the hands of some ivory tower shitheel. But if you're feeling antsy, I guess I could just have my people toss it in a ditch. We'll take it. Good. I want us to part ways on decent terms. Never know who you're going to get paired up with on a future gig. Catch you further on down the line, Commander. It's a small galaxy, after all. What an asshole. I mean, yeah, he gave us a crate of junk as a parting gift, but every damned word that came out of his mouth sounded like a veiled threat. That junk came from the Dobrev. That makes it a potential lead. The Commander's right. There could be clues in that crate. Evidence that will lead us to wherever Dr. Bauman took the Dobrev. I shouldn't have to remind you how important it is that we find that ship. You don't have to, Doc. Look, I'm suspicious of the bounty hunter's motives, but that doesn't mean I'm not excited. This scrap came from the Dobrev, a ship that we've already established to be full of sunshine and unicorns. Hell, I'd be surprised if my mech techs weren't sifting through it already. Whatever answers are in that crate, you'll get them, and I'll bring them to you as soon as I can. Just try not to get your hopes up, okay? Don't worry about us. Just focus on the task at hand. None of us are likely to forget that the bounty hunter is a nightmare of a person. While we're waiting for the Chief's report, we should probably complete a few contracts to keep the cash flow moving in the right direction. We'll reconvene when we've got news about our crate, whatever news that may be. 100k. Sounds good. I mean, we do need to make some cash, but we do get some bonus rewards here. A small X-Pulse laser, Gauss Rifle Blackwell, mask. Okay, yeah, this isn't so bad, but it's not amazing. Sure. We'll take it. We're short on funds, though, and that is something that we will tackle next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.